It's no secret that big ungulates are the primary target of gray wolves and that deer are one of their favorite prey. However, even the most organized predators cannot take into account all the details of the hunt, and thus their tactics can sometimes fail, because the deer are incredibly strong rivals who can stand up for themselves. Herbivores have a hard time in snowy regions during the winter. The deer have to work hard with their hooves to even get a few blades of grass. Many of them get weak, which allows the predators at the top of the food chain to get stronger. Moreover, the larger the pack, the larger the prey they can hunt. And this deer is an excellent confirmation of this fact. Wapiti is one of the largest representatives of the family. The body length of the male can exceed 2.5 meters, and its weight can sometimes exceed 400 kilograms. Its long legs allow it to move quickly, even in deep snow. But light and hardy wolves don't lag behind and even use the path trodden by the prey. Harsh conditions and its weight quickly exhaust the wapiti, and it seems that the pursuers are about to achieve their goal. But thin ice changes the outcome of the chase. Having taken a defensive position in the water, the deer doom the predators to a search of a more accessible target, which by a happy coincidence turned up nearby. Caribou, or reindeer, live to the north of the wapiti. They are significantly inferior in size, but that doesn't make them easy prey. Even with the broken antler, this male isn't going to give up. Using the feature of the terrain, it tries to seek salvation in the water, making it much harder on the predators, who don't have such long legs and thus cannot attack at full strength. Having caught up with the caribou, it's impossible to knock it down in the river, but the herbivore's hooves don't lose their effectiveness. One wolf has already realized that, while the most persistent ones can receive numerous blows and may even end up completely losing the ability to fight. Finally, when most of the wolves give up, the caribou can easily deal with the rest of them. The reindeer's vigilance shouldn't be underestimated. An excellent sense of smell and good hearing can only fail them if the wind's blowing in the wrong direction. But the reindeer's protective arsenal also includes a unique feature of vision. Pure snow reflects about 80% of the ultraviolet falling on it. Local predators have snow-white fur, which guarantees them excellent camouflage. But unlike snow, the wolf skin absorbs ultraviolet radiation. This is invisible to the human eye, but not to the caribou. It makes the wolf stand out clearly against the background of snow, which often ruins the plans of the predators that are trying to ambush the prey. Water often becomes a life-saving point where the deer can restore their strength, because wolves don't care for getting wet, since it can cause a great deal of inconvenience to them in winter. The deer's long legs give them an advantage there. Moreover, thanks to their special system of blood vessels, the heat loss is negligible for them, so the deer can remain in such shelter for hours. It doesn't make sense for the whole pack to waste their time, so the predators leave a guard to watch the prey. However, a single wolf has no chance against a healthy animal, so the deer can even scare away the predator, and when the rest of the wolves arrive, the deer can simply run away from its pursuers and take up the defensive position again. Having restored its strength, the deer has every chance to break away from the predators, so they decide not to waste their precious strength on it. Thus, one lone deer doesn't always make for easy prey, and sometimes it can actually be easier to attack a herd of females, as sooner or later one of them will stray from the chaos. And although especially impatient wolves risk getting a painful kick with the hoof, some hunts often end up in favor of the predators. But in the water, the female can fight back too. Deer specifically chooses deep areas with intense currents, making the predator's tasks as difficult as possible. Even a precise attack on the throat doesn't guarantee success. The long-legged animal can use the power of the river again and force the wolf to unclench its death grip. It looks like the wearing down tactic is now being used against the predator itself. Finally, the female goes on the offensive. The predator realizes that the hunt is becoming too exacting and abandons the prey. Of course, weakened animals such as this wapiti with an injured leg are more desirable prey for the wolves. It's trying to drive away the predator, who came to check out the situation, but the wolf has already realized that the prey isn't going to run away. The predator slowly goes away and delivers that information to the rest of the pack. The wolves are very patient. They realize that the prey isn't going anywhere. They wait for the right moment and finally encircle it. The wapiti is losing the last of its strength, and when all the members of the pack bite into different parts of the body, there's nothing it can do anymore. The wounded animal didn't have a fighting chance, and in the coming days, it will become food for the whole pack. Seasonal reindeer migrations are the best time for hunting, because there's always suitable prey among the thousands of animals. Moreover, even a single predator is enough to wreak havoc in the herd. Of course, it is much more difficult to keep up with the energetic animals in the summer, but at this time, it is the calves that become the main objects of the predator's attention. However, even the younger generation is great at running, and only a reserve of endurance and patience allows the wolf not to lag behind. The predator is unlikely to catch up with such prey, but it relies on the mistakes that even adult animals make in a panic, let alone inexperienced young. Despite the high risks, it is deer that are the main prey of gray wolves in many regions. For example, in Yellowstone, the wapiti makes up about 80% of the predator's diet. Of course, this affects the population of the ungulates, but the regulation of the number of herbivores favorably affects the local vegetation, which in turn makes the ecosystem more stable and diverse.